Well, we're so glad to be back here live. We are running through a test here on our channel, and I'm excited about what's happening. Um, as we are doing this, we are learning some great things, at least I am. And so today we get an opportunity to be here this morning as we're coming in right now, just getting some things in place. And so we're excited about it. Now, if you're with us today, we're going to be talking about some very important things that matter greatly, and they should matter to all of us. Um, I kid you not, they should matter to each and every one of us today, and we don't want to miss them. And so, excuse me, I'm excited to be sharing with you on today. We come in this live, we're talking about credit, business, life, investing. When I go live, it's those four things we're going to be touching on one of them, or we'll touch on a couple of them. And today, on this 4th of July morning, you may be out and about, and I'm in a process of testing out a couple of different ways to do my lives. And then we're going to settle in next week as we're just kind of learning some processes. And so I'm excited that you're here today. I want to remind us of some things in the area of credit. Then I'm going to share some great things in the area of business that could help you today. And then we're going to go from there and talk about our community and other things that are happening that we're so excited about. And we're going to begin today with talking specifically about credit and something that's happening. The FICO system has made several changes, and it's a Fair Isaac Corporation is what it stands for. It is used by 90% of financial institutions to keep up with your and my financial data. But they keep creating new models so that they can track different aspects of what we do in the area of credit or in the area of our credit profile. They've come up with something that's the FICO 10T that's been released that's going to give them the ability to see what's going on with rent and utilities and subscriptions. But in the fall of this year, they're going to be releasing the FICO 10 BNPL, which is the FICO 10 Buy Now, Pay Later. I'm just aware of how many people this is going to impact in a very large way. There's a lot of people who aren't even aware that this is going to happen. They have Buy Now, Pay Later accounts right now with companies like Sezzle, Klarna, or Affirm, and PayPal or PayPal Pay Later, or Amazon. There's so many. There's 21 that I have looked at specifically that these companies a lot of times are not reporting anything to the credit bureau on the loan you have with them. But they've all been over the last year in a series of meetings where they've come up with a conclusion that FICO has created this new thing, and this new thing is going to be unleashed, and it's going to have an impact on way more people than we know. I want to just share with you what FICO's press release says about this, because it says a lot, but I want to share what it says. Here is their press release as of June 23rd, 2025. I'm going to read just a little bit of this. It says, Global analytics software leader today announced the launch of FICO Score 10 BNPL and FICO Score 10T BNPL, the first credit scores from a leading credit scoring provider to incorporate buy now, pay later data. These innovative scores developed by FICO from data-driven research represent a significant advancement in credit scoring, accounting for the growing importance of BNPL loans in the U.S. credit ecosystem. They're trying to find out how can we get all that money that's been off the reports now reported, because you'll see this is pretty big. As key additions to the FICO Score 10 suite, the BNPL versions of FICO Score 10 are poised to further enhance financial inclusion by applying FICO's innovative approach to incorporating BNPL data along with mainstream credit reports. These scores provide lenders with greater visibility into consumers' repayment behaviors, enabling a more comprehensive view of their credit readiness, which ultimately improves the lending experience. Well, let me just say this. What they're saying is that they're going to assist the credit bureaus in making sure that the credit bureaus get the information that they need to know whether to extend credit or not. Now, unfortunately, if you understand buy now, pay later, you understand who's using it. The buy now, pay later system was created for people who might have had difficulties, might have had suppressed scores, and wanted to kind of still get services, products, and they were making monthly payments. Well, this system can catch you because since they're going to be reporting on all of the loans that you have, some people got 2 or 3 of these. Now it's going to hit the report, and it's going to affect your length of credit. It's going to affect your debt to income, debt to credit ratios, which in turn will impact the credit score. Let's look a little bit more at what they're saying. Buy now, pay later loans are playing an increasingly important role in consumers' financial lives, said Julie May, Vice President and General Manager of B2B Scores at FICO. By expanding our FICO Score 10 suite with new models designed to incorporate BNPL data, we're enabling lenders, this is not for you, lenders to more accurately evaluate credit readiness, especially for consumers whose first credit experience is through BNPL products. I want you to see that. This is important. So they're setting you up and everyone to have a situation where you may not be ready for this to hit, but it's coming in the fall. And the reason why I'm talking about this so much here and on my TikTok is because as you're trying to elevate, maybe you did get into the buy now, pay later system, but you're trying to move forward. If you don't find a way of making certain of 2 things: 1, bring these balances down; 2, get out of multiple buy now, pay later accounts, this is going to have an initial negative impact on your credit score. Now, because it's not going live till the fall, you've got some time to get these things in place. Now, here's some things that they have decided. They're not initially going back and going to put your good history on the credit report. They're going to bring these accounts in as fresh. The decision, though, that's still going to be made is, will they report anything negative that's happened with you in the last 9 months or a year, like late payments or defaults or anything? So this is really about evaluating credit readiness. And I want you to understand that this is really about what they're trying to accomplish. Let's look a little bit more of what they have to say here, because this is important. They say, this is important, FICO Score 10 BNPL and FICO Score 10T BNPL were developed to harness the benefits offered by the incorporation of consumers' BNPL data into calculation. FICO's year-long joint study on BNPL data confirmed that a unique consumer behavior associated with BNPL loans is the potential for a large number of these loans to be open within a short period of time. So here's the thing. They're not going to educate you on how this could affect you. They're going to make a decision by themselves, and then you're going to deal with the impact. To address this, FICO developed an innovative approach that includes aggregating separate BNPL loans together when calculating certain in-model variables. This novel treatment has proven effective at capturing predictive signal from the inclusion of BNPL data while increasing FICO scores for some BNPL borrowers. Hogwash. Here's the thing. You're going to see your score increase if you've got one or two of these and you're managing them very effectively over time. Affirm is one of the companies that's been partially participating over this year doing this. Now, I want you to understand there are laws that govern what they're getting ready to do. And you need to be aware of these laws because they cannot, I'm letting you know this, they cannot, companies that you've got buy now, pay later loans with can't just all of a sudden up and start tomorrow reporting your data to credit bureaus. But we'll get into that for you for just a moment to tell you what this is. But let's look a little bit more of what this press release says. In developing these new scores, FICO sought input from many of the largest lenders in the U.S. They didn't tell you. If you got one, they didn't say to you, hey, we're considering this. You're finding out on June the 25th, a lot of people, and most people, because they don't really read this kind of stuff, they're not finding out, and they won't find out. They're not watching me. They're going to find out when all of a sudden they open their credit report and bam, this stuff is sitting there. And so it's who recognize, look at this, the need, this is important, for a modern scoring model that includes buy now, pay later data. Across this group, there was broad consensus integrating BNPL data into credit scoring as a critical advancement that allows lenders to make more informed, accurate decisions while responsibly expanding credit access. Oh, yeah, sure. This all sounds great as a press release, but I'm telling you, here's the bottom line. They did not like the fact that people were getting these loans and they were not a part of the credit reporting system. They didn't like it. Because they didn't like it, they decided we're going to do something about it. And what they decided to do about it was to make sure that all of this is added in on your credit score. And the way they managed to get that done was to create this new scoring model. And so I want you to see this. Now, let's get the last part of this, which is important. So our clients tell us that FICO's initiative to include BNPL data in credit scoring is a progressive step that acknowledges the evolving landscape of consumer financing, added May. Okay, did you see that? Our clients. I want to find out how many of you watching this live or watching the playback of this are one of their clients, because they said FICO May, this person who is the B2B person inside FICO, said, our clients tell us. Well, I'm going to tell you who their clients are. Their clients are just like the people with the credit bureaus. These are the credit institutions. And so the problem that I have is not that they're doing this, not that they're created a new scoring model, not that they're going to now include buy now, pay later in your new score. My problem is that they're not telling people. They're not going to alert you that this is the issue. And so this is this is hurtful. This is hurtful, and it's going to set people up for great loss. That's the best thing that I can tell you. It's going to hurt people. I want you to see something now that is important. Let me see if I can get to it. I want to talk about an act that is very important. And I don't want to get into so much of the, the part of it that would create confusion for you. But I'm going to start by saying this to you. Legally speaking, your buy now, pay later loan company cannot just start sharing your data. They have to, by Fair Credit Reporting Act law, inform you that you have the right to opt out of third party sharing. Now, here's the deal. When you've gone to get loans recently with a firm and others, not all of them, but a few, included in the privacy and all of that stuff that you usually just scroll right through and check the box and accept it because they force you to do that in order to get the loan. In that, you give up the right to block them from sharing. That's fine. That's what you've done in the past. But moving forward, any company that's not been sharing your data with these credit bureaus has got to get you to waive the right so that they can share it. If you don't waive the right, they will not be able to share your data with credit bureaus. Now, I want to share with you what law this is. It's called the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. It's an act that happened in 1999, but this act was intended, it requires the FTC along with federal banking agencies and other regulators to issue regulations ensuring that financial institutions protect the privacy of consumers' personal financial instrument information. Such institutions must develop and give notice of their privacy policies to their own customers at least annually, except where exempted, and then they list the sections. And before disclosing any consumer's personal financial information to an unaffiliated third party, and must give notice and an opportunity for that consumer to opt out from such disclosure. Under the Dodd-Frank Act, this rule-making authority transferred to the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection, except with respect to certain motor vehicle dealers. But the FTC continues to have enforcement authority. Now, this is what this is saying to you and to me. They cannot just up and say, we're sharing your data, simply because when you signed up for this loan, you already signed on to a privacy policy. At that time, they were sharing none of your data with credit bureaus because they were an unaffiliated party. Well, now they are an affiliated party. Are you seeing what I'm saying? This is what they're trying to do. So since they signed the deal with them, your policy that you already have with most of these companies says they're not sharing it with credit bureaus. That's exactly what the policy states. You can go and pull up the policy before this thing happens in the fall. And what you need to do is to write your buy now, pay later company and tell them you do not give them the right to share your information with third parties. They're going to try to send you something to shift this in the coming weeks. They're going to have to, but I'm telling you that if you have a loan already, they can't just say, we're going to share. They have got to tell you, we want to share that you have it, and moving forward, we want to start listing your data. But they've got to get you to agree, because in your privacy policy, when you first started this buy now, pay later, they told you they will not share your data with credit bureaus and listed them as an unaffiliated third party. So this law, that these changes that are happening in the fall really affect people moving forward, because what these companies are going to do is put it in the privacy policy that this is what they're going to do, and you got to sign it to get the loans. But that's not the past. So I'm letting you know, you need to be aware this is going to come. They're going to try to get you to waive the right to let them share your previous loans. What you should be doing is now in advance finding the loan companies that you've got buy now, pay laters with, let them know in advance, go to their customer service, find out who you got to contact, and write the letter. and tell them, I do not want my private information shared with the credit bureaus, because this is not, I am not going to opt out and give you the right to share. Now, I want to say this one more time, because you need to know what this is that is giving you the right to do this. It is the Graham-Leach-Bliley Act. They break it down as GLBA, and this is very important. It is 15 USC 6801 through 6809, but the main section is 6801, 6802, and you need to look at this to see your rights. And because you have these rights, you're not going to give them up for your past buy now, pay laters. It's going to put you in a stronger position. So this is something that I wanted to come on and share it, because I want you to understand what's going on and how much these individuals are trying to mess you up. Now, I want to switch for a moment. I want to talk to business owners, because I want to talk to you about two things. One, I want to talk to you about something, and I have to put this in my system real quickly, because I want to show you something that is so critical to business owners. And there's two things that I want to get you hooked up for, because if you get this, you're going to be tremendously helped. And I really believe it. So first and foremost, let's share this. I want to talk about CDFI grants for business owners. They are financial assistance programs provided by the Community Development Financial Institutions Fund to support community-based initiatives in economically distressed areas. Now, this is important. I'll share a little bit more of this part with you, then I'm going to show you something about these grants. Now, what are CDFI grants? The Community Development Financial Institutions Fund, part of the U.S. Department of Treasury, offers various grants and financial assistance to certified community development financial institutions. These grants aim to enhance the capacity of CDFIs to provide financial services and support economic growth in underserved communities. The CDFI fund has awarded over $1.4 billion since its inception. Type of grants available: base financial assistance, base FA awards, up to $1 million. Technical assistant grants, up to $150,000. CDFI Equitable Recovery Program grants. These are people still dealing with impacts of COVID and other things. And then they talk about eligibility and things of that nature. These are things that you have to be aware of. But I want to share with you, in addition to CDFIs, I've got a list of over 350 grants that happen every year that business owners can apply for. We've put together a database for this purpose and when these things renew. And so I'm just going to run down through some of them. There's Digital Communities Grant of $10,000. The description: Digital Communities Program is a free program designed for and by small business owners with the help of digital marketing experts. The Vela Micro Grant, $2,500 to $10,000. Micro grants provide fast funding for everyday entrepreneurs, students, parents, educators, and community leaders who are building unconventional learning ecosystems within their communities. Black Advancement Coalition, $300 to $400, young Black entrepreneurs. The Nova grants, there's no set number, but it's looking at the employees that you have to help you really expand the business. GoFundMe Match Relief grants. Hershey Foundation, the Vision Full Entrepreneur Project grants. Cybersecurity Small Business Grant of $100,000. The Black Press Program for journalists and Black-owned media companies, $10,000. The Barstool Fund, $1,000 to $100,000 for small business. 500 Global Flagship Accelerator Program, and on and on and on. And we also have an apply here. We've got a template. We've got everything in this. And it's in our description for the videos because there is so many opportunities. These are not loans. These things renew. And as you can see in the column, the deadline is continuous. So you go to, you apply, you check to see when these are available. Now, why am I sharing this? Because one of the things that I have come to find out by talking to entrepreneurs, people are very interested in funding, but in the two things that I've just mentioned, the CDFIs and the grant programs that are in abundance, I've got 350 plus of them here. You can see so many possibilities for your business while you're building your foundation, while you're establishing yourself with Dun & Bradstreet and Equifax business and Experian business and NAV. While you are working to get your paydex of 80 plus, you're putting your net 30s in place. You could also at the same time be getting grants for your program, because many of these grants are community oriented. They're looking at the type of business you have, where your business is located, and they're giving you grants based off that information. And so it is extremely wise as a business owner, get yourself in a system. Even if you have to work with a VA, virtual assistant, to help you take some time to apply, take a day, and we're going to apply to these 10. And you put together what is necessary and you make application. This is smart. You know when it needs to be done. 2, 3, 4 months in advance. Set yourself up. Know the 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 you're going to apply for in the next year cycle, and do it. What if you get accepted for 2 of the grants? That's less money you've got to try to get from other places. And once you get accepted, you're in a database, and it becomes easier for you to be awarded partial numbers for these grants. Like I said, $1.4 billion have been given out through these programs. And my question is, why not your business? There's no reason for you not to be included in the numbers of people who are getting these types of grants. I'm aware that these types of grants are tremendous opportunity for you. And if you do it, you're going to see yourself advance. Look up CDFI, and because there are CDFI programs in your community. If you go to one of the things at CDFI.com, if you go to these websites, what you're going to see is there are things connected right to your local community, people in your state who do them in your state. And so now you apply in your state for those types of community grants. In addition to that, the list of the types of grants that I have are just like what they say. It's like putting caramel or whatever on the top of the ice cream. So you've got to do it because it's going to help your business. Now, I've talked a little bit about credit. I've talked a little bit about business. I want to give something that relates to both credit and business. I launched a community recently with a goal of getting a founders group together. I was doing this exclusively on TikTok because that's where I built a very strong business. And I wanted to do something that I didn't see that I was able to do in my business at the time. A lot of people who are getting credit fixed and all that kind of stuff, they really want you to just do the work. They don't really want to get up out of inertia, make forward steps. But I'm looking for people who you say, I want to be in a better position. By this time next year, I want a completely different financial position. So in the community, these 4 words, credit, business, life, and investing, are all that we are about. We help you. And let me show you what we do in the community. So in the community, it's called Biz Done Right. We get your credit repaired, unlock 50 to 250K in business funding. You get paid to refer others, elevate your life while having fun. And it's $0 a month, free forever, if you are in by July the 9th. After July the 9th, that's going to change. But if you join by then, get help removing late payments, collections, charge-offs, and inquiries in days. Get assistance rebuilding your credit from scratch. Learn how to build the business you wanted. And whenever you are ready, speak to our funders and get the funding you need. Notice our funders, yes, everything is inclusive. You're going to get everything. You don't have to go anywhere. What does it include? Inside this community, there are 10-session video masterclass for entrepreneurs. So if you're an entrepreneur, there's a 10-session video class for you to make certain this business is ready. Credit repair with premium letters, master credit and business building blueprint, access to over 10 types of funding, 50K to 250K funding strategy. You get Zoom coaching with myself and others, plus you get many, many, many resources. 30% monthly affiliate commissions per referral, access to trade lines. If you need help getting that score at certain strategic moments, we've got you. Monthly giveaways for the leaderboard, such as cash, rent paid, etc. You can join this community for free. Now, let me just show you a little bit about our classroom. I'm going to go to some free resources that are in the classroom. If you come into our classroom, we're going to show you how to do your business from start. This is a critical document because it's going to show you everything you need to set up in this business line by line. It's going down, showing you exactly how to do it. Credit done right. If you come into that, this is all inside the community. This is teaching you how to this happens, every aspect of it. And then we also give you additional information beyond this, but this is the breakdown of what credit is like. And then we want you to freeze secondary credit bureaus. We give you the reason, and we show you who to freeze and how to freeze them. And then personal information challenge. We want everyone doing it because you need to challenge this. We actually give our people the actual letter that they need to do the personal information challenge. But that's not all. Inside this community, you're going to get books. We've got over 40 books that we are giving. And so the books are there and you can download them to your Kindle reader and absolutely be blessed. Be blessed. As a matter of fact, there's somebody right now come in, just joined the community. So here I was live, able to welcome them in. So as you can see, this community is now up to 77 people who are part of our founders group, and I'm excited about it. So if you want to join this community up until July the 9th, you can join this community at no cost. After July the 9th, there will be a monthly fee, as this community has so much positive information. There's already things in the calendar that are going to be happening for our people. And we just want to go in as a community and see everyone level up their finances. There is no reason to not level up your finances. I find zero reason to be in a situation where, we're stuck, we're failing. Too many businesses are failing. Too many people's credit scores are suppressed, and they're going to get worse. Interest is crushing people on credit cards. People are having to use credit cards for their necessities, and it's crushing them. And so I want you to, if you're watching this live and you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe. And I would love to see you do just that. And I want you to know, thank you. I am doing great. glad to have you in our live on today. And, I want you to follow and subscribe to this channel, as I know we're going to do you some real good help. And so please, sirs and ma'ams, um, do that. Subscribe to the channel, follow us, and we look forward. I mean, really look forward to helping you advance. Now, I've talked this morning about several things. I've talked mostly about credit, a lot about credit stuff, because I don't want people to be caught off guard. And I've talked about business, some grants and things that are available to you as a business owner. And I'm going to end this live today talking a little bit about life, because that's where I'm at: credit, business, life, investing. Let's talk about life a little bit. I want you to understand, I've met many people in my journey. I had to deal with some tremendous traumas as a kid. Growing up, before I ever turned 18, a lot of things happened. And what happens when you're a kid, you don't know how to navigate what's going on. You don't know how. So what you do is you simply just try to get through. You do whatever you feel you can do, but what really happens to the mind of a young person that's not fully developed, you develop ideas about yourself that typically are lies. I left my teen years with self-defeating beliefs about myself. Now, that didn't stop me from continuing on in life. I still got married. I still had children. I still moved in ministry, all types of stuff. I still did it, but I did it with a self-defeating belief about myself that was developed in trauma. And because of the way things were at the time, there's certain trauma and events and struggles and problems. You just don't talk about it. You just stuff it. You just, as people said callously, you just get over it. Well, I'll be honest with you, I never got over it. And most people that I encounter who are trying to navigate through life, struggling with sex addictions, food addictions, drug addictions, not being able to be authentic, not having an ounce of integrity, these things are rooted often in self-defeating views of ourselves. One of the best books, and I'm not here to bless anybody, but I mean, I'm not here to boost anybody's products, but I want to be honest about some things that I think is important. There was a book that I was reading, and I'm going to share this part with you because it matters. So there was a book, and as much as I can get you to see it, it's called The Gifts of Imperfection by Dr. Brene Brown. It encourages readers to embrace their imperfections and live authentically, emphasizing that vulnerability is essential for true connection and happiness. Here's an overview. The Gifts of Imperfection is groundbreaking work by Dr. Brene Brown, a research professor known for her studies on vulnerability, courage, and shame. The book, first published in 2010, introduced the concept of wholehearted living, which is about engaging with the world from a place of worthiness. Brown shares 10 guideposts that help individuals cultivate courage, compassion, and connection in their lives. Oh, I'm talking about major. Here are some of the key themes that are addressed in the book. Embracing vulnerability. Brown urges or argues that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a source of strength. It allows us to connect with others and experience love and belonging. Number two, letting go of perfectionism. The book addresses the detrimental effects of perfectionism, which can lead to feelings of shame and inadequacy. You know what shame is? It's not, I did something wrong. It's, I'm wrong. I'm messed up. That's where I lived coming out of my teenage years. Brown encourages readers to accept their flaws and recognize that imperfection is part of being human. Authenticity. One of the central messages is that authenticity is essential for a fulfilling life. Brown emphasizes that we must let go of who we think we're supposed to be and embrace who we truly are. Wow. And lastly, courage and compassion. The guideposts outlined in this book provide practical tools for developing courage and compassion towards oneself and others, fostering deeper connections and a sense of belonging. Conclusion. Gifts of Imperfection is a powerful guide for anyone struggling with self-doubt, perfectionism, or a sense of inadequacy. It teaches that the greatest gift is to accept ourselves as we are, imperfections and all, and to live a life full of compassion, connection, and self-acceptance. For those interested in personal growth and emotional well-being, this book is a must read. I am telling you, I have done a lot of reading. That book did so much for me, so much. And then I want to share one other thing. I want to share one other thing. And I want to give you a good enough insight into it. Let's see if I'm able to give you enough insight into it. Yes. I'm going to first, because there's a couple of ways that I could do this, but I wanted to share this with you because these are things that have meant the world to me. And I don't know how to go beyond, this is critical. So let's see. The book is critical for us, and so let's go to. I don't want to go into all the contents of the book, but let's see if I can show you something in this book. But it's called The Fifth Agreement, and I want to just give you an excerpt from this book. And it's The Fifth Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz. And here is something that this book says. It says, from the moment you are born, you deliver a message to the world. What is the message? The message is you, that child. It's the presence of an angel, a messenger from the infinite in a human body. The infinite, a total power, creates a program just for you, and everything you need to be what you are is in the program. You are born, you grow up, you mate, you grow old, and in the end, you return to the infinite. Now, these are things being said. Let's see, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Every cell in your body is a universe of its own. Its intelligence is complete. It's programmed to be whatever you're programmed to be, whatever you are, and it makes no difference to the program what your mind thinks you are. The program is not in the thinking mind, it's in the body. Now, they get into some very good things. I want to come down to something that um, is important. This is symbols and agreements. During all the years that we grow up, we make countless agreements with ourselves, with society, with everybody around us. But the most important agreements are the ones we make with our own selves by understanding the symbols we learned. The symbols are telling us what we believe about ourselves. They're telling us what we are and what we are not, what is possible, what is not possible. The voice of knowledge, which is in our heads, is telling us everything that we know. But who tells us if what we know is the truth? When we go to grammar school, high school, and college, we acquire a lot of knowledge. But what do we really know? Do we master the truth? No, we master a language, a symbology. And that symbology is only the truth because we agree, not because it's really the truth. Wherever we are born, whatever language we learn to speak, we find that almost everything we know is really about agreements, beginning with the symbols that we learn. If we're born in England, we learn English symbols. If we're born in China, we learn Chinese symbols. But whether we learn English, Chinese, Spanish, German, Russian, or any other language, the symbols only have value because we assign them to a value and agree on their meaning. If we don't agree, the symbols are meaningless. The word tree, for example, is meaningful for people who speak English, but tree doesn't mean anything unless we believe that it means something, unless we agree. What it means for you, it means for me, and that's why we understand one another. What I'm saying right now is you understand because we agree with the meaning of every word that was programmed in our mind. But this doesn't mean that we completely agree. Each of us gives a meaning to every word, and it's not exactly the same for us. This begins to take you and me on a journey. And here's where I ended up understanding something powerful, that perspective many times outweighs everything. It's really perspective. It's how I am seeing it. It's not how it is. So here's the first thing that I learned, and I learned several. Don't take anything personal. Let's use the power of our imagination to create a dream together, knowing that it's a dream. Imagine that you are in a gigantic mall where there are hundreds of movie theaters. You look around to see what's playing, and you notice a movie that has your name. Amazing. You go inside the theater, and it's empty except for one person. Very quietly, trying not to interrupt, you sit behind that person who doesn't even notice you. All that person's attention is on the movie. You look at the screen, and what's a big surprise? You recognize every character in the movie: your mother, your father, your brothers and sisters, your beloved, your children, your friends. Then you see the main character of the movie, and it's you. You are the front star of the movie, and it's the story of you. And that person in front of you, well, it's also you watching yourself act in the movie. Of course, the main character is just the way you believe you are. And so are all the secondary characters because you know the story of you. After a little while, you feel a little overwhelmed by everything you just witnessed, and you decide to go to another theater. In this theater, there's also just one person watching a movie, and she doesn't even notice when you sit beside her. You start watching the movie, and you recognize all the characters, but now you're just a secondary character. This is the story of your mother's life, and she is the one who is watching the movie with all her attention. Then you realize that your mother is not the same person who was in your movie. The way she projects herself is completely different in her movie. It's the way your mother wants everyone to perceive her. You know that it's not authentic. She's just acting. But then you begin to realize that it's the way she perceives herself, and it's kind of a shock. Then you notice that the character who has your face is not the same person who was in your movie. You say to yourself, this isn't me. But now you can see how your mother perceives you, what she believes about you, and it's far from what you believe about yourself. Then you see the character of your father, the way your mother perceives him, and it's not at all the way you perceive him. It's completely distorted. And so is her perception of all the other characters. You see the way your mother perceives your beloved and even get a little upset with your mom. How dare she? You stand up and get out of there. You go to the next theater, and it's the story of your beloved. Now you can see the way your beloved perceives you. And the character is completely different from the one who was in your movie and the one who was in your mother's movie. You can see the way your beloved perceives your children, your family, your friends. You can see the way your beloved wants to project him or herself, and it's not the way you perceive your beloved at all. Then you decide to leave that movie and go into your children's movie. You see the way your children see you, the way they see grandpa, grandma, and you hardly believe it. Then you watch the movies of your brothers and sisters, of your friends, and you find out that everybody is distorting all the characters in their movie. Are you all with me? After seeing all these movies, you decide to return to the first theater to see your own movie once again. You look at yourself acting in your movie, but you no longer believe anything you're watching. You no longer believe your own story because you can see that it's just a story. Now you know that all the acting you did your whole life was really for nothing because nobody perceives you the way you want to be perceived. You can see that all the drama that happens in your movie isn't really noticed by anybody around you. It's obvious that everybody's attention is focused on their own movie. They don't even notice when you're sitting right beside them in their theater. The actors have all their attention on their story, and that is the only reality they live in. Their attention is so hooked by their own creation that they don't even notice their own presence, the one who is observing their movie. In that moment, everything changes for you, and I've experienced that moment. Nothing is the same anymore because now you see what's really happening. People live in their own world, in their own movie, in their own story. They invest all their faith in that story, and that story is truth for them because it's a relative truth, because it's not truth for you. Now you can see that all their opinions about you really concern the character who lives in their movie, not yours. The one who they are judging in your name is the character they create. Whatever people think of you is really about the image they have of you, and that image isn't you. Nothing people do is about you. Once you can get, this is the book, The Fifth Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz, and there's a co-writer. Once you get this, I know this is, I do credit, business, life, investing. This is life. You want to be free? You got to realize nothing people do is about you. You are a secondary character in the story they are writing, and they're only writing your character based off of perception, and perception is not the truth. So what should we do? As authentically as you can, with the integrity that you can, enjoy your life, because whatever people are doing, it has nothing to do with you. This is going to help you recover yourself from the opinions of people, the judgments, the harsh words. People can see you for 5 minutes and come up with the story of your life. See you for 2 minutes, hear a real small clip about you, and conclude who you are. Well, you got to do the internal work that frees you from those judgments. This man just wrote a book where he created a scenario of going into theaters. I've shared this with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people because it was such a weight-lifting thing the day that I realized that you could be standing right next to me every single solitary day, and all you have is a perspective of me. All I have is a perspective, and it is not the truth. So to live authentically is to embrace your true self and let that person live in the earth. This is powerful. If you're going to have a successful credit life, a successful business life, a successful investing life, you've got to have a good life. And that good life happens because you decide, I'm going to be me. I'm going to stop being bothered with other people's words and opinions because it doesn't have anything to do with me. Now, in the fifth agreement, uh, he starts off with being impeccable with your words, but the second agreement was what I just said to you. Don't take anything personal. And it goes on and gets better. Those two books that I mentioned in this life section today, Gifts of Imperfection and The Fifth Agreement, had major impact on my life at my lowest point. Because there were times in my path that I thought I'm done with. I'm history. I'll never be able to recover. All people will ever talk about is my downside, the negatives. But here I am today, sitting in a key position in a company to help people navigate credit, business, life, and investing in a way that is effective for them and gets them where they want to be. Listen, I want to say this to you today. Enjoy today. Whatever day you watch this, enjoy it. If those two books are great for you, get them. I also want to share one last thing with you today, and then I'm going to move on. I've been very fortunate as well to have written material that his ebook has just released, and the paperback is going to come out on July the 10th. But here's the book that I've written. Declutter Your Inner Life in 7 weeks. 10 powerful steps to declutter your mind, heal old wounds, and unlock your full potential. There's 20 reviews right now on this book, and it's a 4.7 rating out of 5. But what customers find the book's weekly structure makes the decluttering process feel manageable and doable. Moreover, they appreciate how it helps confront emotional clutter and provides powerful tools for transformation. The book receives positive feedback for its readability, with one customer describing it as an eye opener. What some people said about the book: this book is a great guide for anyone who feels stressed, sad, or stuck. Declutter Your Inner Life in 7 weeks gives simple steps to help clear your mind, heal from the past, and feel better. The author, Duane shares his story and gives helpful tips and exercises. It's easy to follow and really makes you think. I would recommend it to anyone who wants more peace and happiness in life. Now, like I said, this is the Kindle edition. The actual book paperback will be out on July the 10th. I'm excited because I realized that when the mind is cluttered, the life is lived subpar of what could be. So no one can come in and clean your cluttered closet. Your mind is like a closet. I used to teach for years that if you really want to see what's going on with people, check their trunk and check their glove compartment and check their closet, because people who have a lot of clutter there, typically there's a lot of hidden things inside, things that we don't want people to see and know because we haven't figured them out. And so we just kind of avoid them and we pack them in a closet and we close the door and no one's going to see it. So when they walk in your house, they see, oh, wow, the living room is nice, the kitchen is nice, because you want people to perceive you a certain way. So you clean up the public spaces. But those spaces that your guests won't check, those spaces that your friends won't check, well, those are the spaces that are cluttered. And here's the problem. Your children know they're cluttered. And so your children learn to stuff and pack things in closets and glove compartments and trunks and in hidden spaces. They clutter it all up. And so it becomes impossible to navigate decisions and processes and self-worth. And so I want to encourage you. You've got to do your part. Oh, yeah. I want you to subscribe to this channel. I want you to. I'm here because this channel has given me opportunity to offer you a door to better. Not a door to be a carbon copy of somebody. No, a door to your authentic self. We're talking about credit. We're talking about business. We're talking about life. We're talking about investing. I put up videos 3 times a week on this channel. I'll be going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays on this channel. But I want you to, in spite of all of that stuff, only engage people who see your value as a human. If you got to do something, become something to get value in their eyes, you're not valuable just because you're a human. Do you know what it took to get you here? You had to go through a whole lot to get here. So I am excited for you. I'm excited for your future. I'm excited to see you grow. Share this live with someone else. I've discovered and talked about a lot of pieces in this live. Share it with someone else. Someone that you know, maybe the credit part will help them. Maybe it's the business part. Or maybe it's what I just talked about in the area of life. Today we didn't talk about investing, but it's okay. I want you to live your best life. And it doesn't start with who you have to please. It starts with looking in the mirror, getting a journal out, and start making sure to free up your headspace. Who are you? Am I treating me good? Don't worry about are you treating people good, because you're going to treat people the way you're treating you. Am I treating me good? If you're stuffing sugar and carbs and stuff in your body all day and all night, you're not treating you good. You're throwing your body off. It's starting to, as you get older, it's going to show you that you have sabotaged your own health, your own body, yours. So you've got to start treating you better. What things do I put in here that are good for me, that will help me, not hurt me? As you prioritize loving yourself to the best of your ability, I guarantee you the people connected to you are going to feel that same love. Well, I encourage you today, my friends, be blessed. That word blessed means empowered to prosper. I want you to prosper, but you can't do it trying to be approved by people. Be who you are, and the people you fit with, you'll find them and they will find you. Well, I'm so excited. I'll be back live next week. I have a video that's going to drop today at 6 p.m., I believe, Eastern time. But I'll be live next Tuesday and Thursday. And those lives are going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I come live earlier in the day, it'll be announced. But there's going to be something in my community post that states when we're going live. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. I look forward to seeing you then. And until then, you be blessed. Have an awesome